Hey guys, welcome in this new video. I hope that all of you are doing great. So in today's video, we are continuing with the trade breakdown series with a very good trade on Euro USD. Before I start, as always, if you're not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you do that so that way you are sure to not miss any new videos coming out. Alright, so as I said, we will take a look at a very good trade on Euro USD. I made 4.5% profit of that trade. So first of all, here's the profit of the actual trade. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you saw the evolution of that trade because I posted a few times about it, and you will see why. But when we will jump on the chart, you will see that there is a link between this video and the last trade breakdown, because if you remember, it was also on Euro USD, and I will show you guys how I basically once predicted the downside, which was the last trade, and also predicted the upside, which was this trade, before both of them even happened. So just before we do that, if you would like to learn more about how we trade, work with us directly, and also join our trading group, well, all you have to do is check out the first link in the description box below, and it will bring you over to my website, which is my trading course, and there you will find all the information about what you will have access to and how you can join us. Alright, so enough talking, let's jump on the chart and take a look at this trade. Okay, so we're now on my chart. Let's take a look at this trade. So as always, I will start on the higher time frame and then go on the lower time frame and show you guys the entry and where my risk was calculated, the target, and all of that. So let's actually go back on the higher time frame. So if you guys remember on the last trade breakdown video, first of all, if you haven't watched that video, what I would do if I were you is go back, watch the last trade breakdown video, and then come back to this one to see the evolution of that trade, because both trades were on this pair, and you will see how accurate we are able to predict the market and forecast the next upcoming movements with the knowledge that we have in Reversal Master, which is basically the exactly what I covered in the course. I mean, that's the idea of it, obviously. So if you guys remember, in the last trade breakdown video, I showed you guys how I was selling this down move right here. So let me bring you back there. So I had a sell from those levels, and I closed that trade around those levels here. Oh no, I'm sorry, not here, here. So that was the short trade that I took on Euro USD. And if you guys remember, in the same video, I was talking about the fact that when this broke the low here, it would either continue the downside or go back up here. So those are the two very long-term forecasts. So I was expecting either an upside from those levels or a total downside. And so this is where my new trade, which is the one that I'm doing a video about right now, actually happened. So let me show you guys that on the 1 hour. So on the 1 hour, around those levels, as I said, well, I was watching for the market to either start a bigger correction or maybe even start a reversal to the upside, which is at the end of the day what we got. So we got this up move here, we got this pattern here. When we broke out of this pattern, I decided to take a trade around those levels. So that was my entry. When it comes to my stop loss, as you guys know, I've already talked about it a few times in my last trade breakdown videos, but I don't use a stop anymore. Basically everything is manual, so I don't use a stop and I don't use a take profit. There are very specific reasons for why that is, but that is something a lot more advanced than I cannot cover here, because those basically type of information are more for my students, as I said in Reversal Master. But I can still tell you that I don't use anymore a stop loss, and the take profit, I haven't used that for a pretty long time now. So that's basically the idea. So that was the entry. My risk was calculated to about those levels here. There's a very specific reason for why that is, because once again, I'll not go into details, but this could have done this, go back down here before the upside. So I had to calculate my risk around those levels because I was also looking at this potential trade setup. So after that, I took the trade here. It made the upside. We got a few small corrections. So we got this one here, we got this piece here, and it just kept going up for some time. And so today, as I'm recording this video, we are Wednesday, and today was the FOMC interest rate decision in the US. So it was basically the federal interest rate that we got the news, and that is always in news that create a lot of volatility on the market, which is basically what you see here. So this strong candle here was caused when the news actually dropped. So that's basically the idea behind it. Now, of course, it's more complex and there's more to know about the news. But those videos are trade breakdowns, right? They're not like educational videos. So don't expect me to explain all of that here. Anyway, so that was the trade here. As I said, the risk was calculated those level. I had many possible targets. As I showed you guys, this is the long-term forecast that I have. Now, what you have to understand, and that is something really important, this up move here is not confirmed. Let me repeat that. This up move is not confirmed. So does it have to do that? No. Could it even go back down here? Of course it could. There is a structure that tells us that the market could do that. So don't and that's something really important, but you cannot just jump in trades just because you think it's going to do something. You always need to wait for a confirmation. I think I even spoke about that in one of the last trade breakdown, but that's very important. So the reason why I closed the trade today, and I will come back to that a little later, but the reason why I closed the trade today is because we still don't have any confirmation for either the next daily down move or the next daily up move. And because of that, I had to treat my trade as a short-term trade only, right? So that's basically the explanation and reasoning behind my decision of closing the trade today. Obviously, there are a lot more reasons than that, as I said, but that's really basically one of the main idea that we have to keep in mind when it comes to those type of decision. Always, playing around the scenario that we have on the higher picture and on the lower time frame, and then being able to tell which one is confirmed and which one is not confirmed yet. So to go back on the chart, I actually closed the trade today around those levels here. So that was the perfect place to close the trade, right? As you can see, because it actually went back down pretty deep. And if you remember, well, my trade was like here. So we basically went down around break even of where I was. And I actually have been able to exit the trade with a very, very good profit, as you guys saw earlier. So when it comes to the execution, I mean, that trade was perfect. Once again, I know that I say that oftentimes, but I'm at a point now that this is what I expect from myself, because I've spent so much time studying the charts, learning how to trade, how to read the market, and all of that. That of course I'm expecting nearly perfection, right? And so this is basically what happened here. So I get out of the trade around those levels. That was an amazing trade. So as I showed you guys, the entry was around here and the exit was around there. Now, there is still nothing confirmed for the higher time frame. So let me say this one more time. Nothing is confirmed for the higher time frame. So as I showed on the higher time frame, could it do this? Well, yes, it could. Or could we just continue the upside eventually? We could also do that. Both ways, we will be able to trade this. When I say we, it's more, in my group, because obviously I don't trade live other places than in the Reversal Master trading group, but that is the idea, right? Nothing is confirmed, and that is something that is so crucial. Like every time that I take a trade is because that I see something being confirmed, right? It's always about the confirmation. Do you have a confirmed setup, or are you trying just to predict the market? So it's always a question that you want to ask yourself before you take any trade. So that's very important. It's more about the mindset when it comes to being a trader, but it still matters a lot, because this is where a lot of people fail. So to come back to the chart, because I could rant like this for a long time. I mean, yeah, we already saw everything that we needed to see about that trade. As I told you guys, that's the same pair of the last trade breakdown. So obviously the overall time frame and the higher structure has not really changed. That was just to follow up with you guys and show you basically the power of how we trade. All right, the power of how we look at charts. And I say that very humbly, right? But it's just to show you that with the way that we look at the charts, which is very different from most people, I think that now if you already watched some of my other videos, you can, realize that very easily. How we look at chart is very different from most people. And one of the main reasons we do that is because we are able, with our understanding, to predict multiple movements in advance. So when I took this right here, I was expecting the downside. When we broke the low somewhere around those levels, I was either expecting a continuation downside or upside. And you see that I've been able to trade both ways and make money on both trades. So that's already more than what I'm supposed to give you guys, but that's to give you an idea and to basically put a context, around what we do and how we look at charts. So we saw everything about that trade, the entry, the risk, the target, how it went after taking it. So that was a trade breakdown for Euro USD. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. As always, I hope that you like it and that you learned something from it. If you did, please share it around. I would truly appreciate it, and you could also help, hopefully other traders by doing that. Anyway, it would just mean the world to me. So on that, thank you so much for watching. Once again, take care, trade with care, manage your money well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.